Hello guys, so this topic is about A, understanding, and B, identifying quality. So we are trying to understand the definition and meaning of this word quality so that you know what you are managing. Alright, so first of all, there are so many definitions. You can Google this. So because there are so many definitions, I have to select a few that I thought relevant to our scope and requirements. Alright, one of the most famous definition is quality is conformance to specifications. Your products have many specifications. The raw materials have many specifications. The packaging materials have specification. Even the finished product have specification. So you fulfill all the specification criteria. Alright, you have quality products. Second one there is a combination of attributes or characteristics of a product that have significance in determining the degree of acceptability. So it is about the product has characteristics. When we combine, say, the crunchiness of peanuts with the oiliness that give rise to flavors, you combine that to the color, the golden yellow color of the nuts. So all of this combination of attributes give significance that makes the product acceptable to the user. Okay, and the third one is basically the most easiest to understand: customer satisfactions. Our job is to study the customer requirements, and then via design and via manufacturing, they transform the requirements into satisfactions. If we are not satisfied with a product, we're not going to buy it again. That is bad for business. So you have to make sure customers are delighted, not just happy, they are delighted with your quality of your products. Okay, I'd like to focus on this definition because this sounds so relevant to manufacturing as well. The characteristics of a product or services that bear on its ability to satisfy stated or implied needs. Okay, consumers, they don't know exactly what they want. They never state that they want a particular product in certain ways, unless your customer is another manufacturers that state the specification very clearly, the kind of chemical characteristic, the kind of physical properties that they really want. They state it on the piece of paper. But for ordinary consumers outside, they don't really know what they want. So we have to decide for them from their implied needs. And the product or service free of deficiencies. So for the first definition, I use roasted peanuts there. We are now required to identify characteristics and the quality factors that can be used to control quality. So definitely there are so many characteristics you can use, even the raw materials, even the processes, even the finished product. But to make life easy for us to understand, consumers want crunchy peanuts. They want to feel the texture, the sound produced from biting, chewing of the roasted peanut. They want to feel the oil with flavor being released during chewing. Okay, the crunchiness is very important characteristics in terms of peanuts, roasted peanuts identity. So that is consumers. For you as manufacturers, you have to identify the quality factors, how to control the crunchiness characteristics. I give an example there. Roasting. So during roasting, there is you have to control the temperature, maybe the time of roasting, maybe the speed of the drums being used during roasting. After the roasting process, there could be some kind of measurement to check whether the roasting process has been completed and you will achieve the crunchiness attribute. Maybe you're also careful about the relative humidity, the state of the manufacturing, i.e. maybe the hygiene aspect, etc. So the quality factors have to be controlled in order to achieve the characteristics of the peanuts. Another example is by studying the wine bottling. After studying the whole processes, it's very complex. There are so many interaction, many processes, from picking up the grapes to bringing it to the bottling, and then they're going to be process of selecting the material, etc. So one of the most important quality characteristic identified by manufacturers was the hermeticity. How tight is the sealing, because this will determine the safety of the bottles. So they have to consider the hermeticity, and they have to figure out how to control it. Alright, so two quality factors there. One is the materials, another is the processes. For the materials, maybe the bottles the bottle and the stopper, the cork stopper. So in order and the processes, which is the filling of the wine, also the cork stopper. So in order to obtain hermeticity, the identified quality factors to be controlled are the materials, bottles and cork stopper, and also the processes of filling and the use of cork stopper. So the manufacturer have to come up with specifications. The bottle have to be, you have to have certain measurement of the glass forks, or the roundness of the rim, or the slope of finish, and the verticality of the bottles. You must have specification for the stopper as well, the length of the stopper, the diameter, the ovality, verticality, elasticity, porosity, humidity, appearance, etc. And then for the process of filling, maybe the filling level in terms of volume, that is something that has to be controlled and have some kind of specification as well. The stopper, you're going to push the corks into the bottle, right? So they're going to be a depth. How deep is the stoppers is going into the bottles, whether there is any destruction or worse, absence of cork. So these are the specification needed to control the process in order to obtain hermeticity, identified as the quality characteristics. Okay, before we go any further, I want you to consider this. Everything happens twice. The cartoon illustrates that. Before the fight, the weaker boxer already has this intention that he is afraid. For him, is the bigger boxer is going to kill him, and the bigger boxer also want to kill him, and he is very serious about it. Both of them have already intention. So my point is, everything happens twice, including the manufacturing, including the production of quality products. There are two types of quality. Number one is the mind, or the intellectual creations. In the standard 9001-2015, this is called design and development. In food manufacturing, we call this new product development. So it is actually quality of design. Product has been designed to successfully fill a consumer need, real or perceived. So you have to figure out what do they want, what will make them happy, and what will give them that delight. That is quality of design. After you figure out all the requirements, you translate into specifications, lots of specification, ranging from raw materials, from the packaging materials, from the process 1, process 2, process 3, process 4. So this is called specification. So quality or conformance is about conformance to requirements or specification. This refers to the manufacturing of the products. Of course, it has to meet the specified requirements of the consumer. So if you study the whole processes, you understand the requirement of the customer. At the end of the day, after design and after manufacturing, the consumer should be very satisfied. So bad design, excellent manufacturing will yield unsatisfied consumer. No matter how excellent is the manufacturing, if the design is bad, forget it. Nobody is going to be satisfied. Or you have excellent design, but unfortunately the manufacturing is not fit, it's not competent, so you end up having bad products anyway. So the aim is to have excellent design plus excellent manufacturing, then only you will get satisfaction from consumer. Okay, the concept of fitness for use introduced by a quality guru, Juran, very famous for planning of quality. According to Joseph Juran, the quality should be defined as fitness for use. Fitness for use is quality of design. You can Google, but I have already done the definition here. This is fitness for use, degree to which products conform to essential requirements and meet the needs of users for which they are intended. Okay, the word intended there illustrate the design as the origin. We design, we intend to fulfill the essential requirement and the needs of the consumers. So to achieve fitness for use, or sometimes called fitness for purpose, make sure both quality of design and quality of conformance are excellent. Yeah. So designers, your job is to find out fitness for use, and manufacturers, your job is to make sure the products conform to the specifications. So these two provide the fundamental basis for managing the processes to produce quality products. So design stage determine the essential requirement, expectation and needs. Once you identify, like I gave example before, the crunchiness of nuts could be one of the requirement, and then you translate that into processes in the form of tangible requirement. We call this specification. You have to give specification, what kind of temperature of roasting, the time of roasting, the maybe RPM of the roasting drums. So specifications defined as quality characteristics in terms of desired target value or dimension, i.e. controllable quality factors. So you may want to study also legal requirements. For instance, in our case, we use a lot of this Food Act and regulation, but do not stop there. There are other possible standard. CIRIM, Department of Standard produce the standard for certain products. There are hundreds of products with standards. You can refer to the standards to get this typical good requirements or specification that you can learn or you can study. Or there are code of practice to have a look and try to fulfill all this. Okay, so by having design development, we understand consumer requirements, but we also look at the Ministry of Health Food Act regulations. These are called interested parties. At the same time, your investors may want certain return of investment, and some other interested parties should be considered as well, not just consumers. So having done all that, having thought about consumer satisfaction at the end, you come up with a specification of raw materials in process spec 3, process 1, process 2, process 3, process 4, until finished product spec. You can imagine if every single process here having quality control, they check and they verify that the process is in control, so that the process can go on until you finally produce the finished product with the specification that fulfill the consumer requirement and then should fulfill the consumer satisfaction, and you have yourself product with a fitness for use and consumer satisfaction. Okay guys, so we will continue in the part 2 of quality identification and definition, because it's going to be too long. So see you later. Happy learning.